Whenever there's a GOAT debate in the world of MMA, Jon Jones' name always comes up.
That is the argument, right? Like, who is the GOAT? I think if you look at Jon Jones' early career, right? Jon Jones wins the title in 2011, and from then on has fought more fights as championship fights than he has other fights. So he's the most accomplished for sure.
It's not possible to talk about the GOAT of the sport without mentioning his name. While fighters like Forrest Griffin and Stephan Bonner saved the game and McGregor is credited for changing the game, it was Jones who ran through the MMA world like a prodigy. The youngest ever UFC champion, a record that he achieved nearly a decade ago, is yet to be broken.
Champion! It feels so good.
Not only that, he's been handling losses to the legends and pioneers of the sport as soon as he entered the UFC. The great fighters he has overcome to claim his authority over lightweight gold include Mauricio Rua,
Looking to finish Shogun!
Left hook, and then a knee. And Herb Dean mercifully rescues Shogun.
Rampage Jackson,
You're giving your instructions. I expect a clean fight.
Glover Teixeira, DC,
Catching up to do here in round 4.
Oh, he most certainly does.
Punch match.
Look at this.
Goes the distance.
Lyoto Machida,
Finish this fight! It is all over!
and the list goes on and on. Tied with Demetrius Johnson for the most number of title defenses at 11, he's the most successful 205-pounder in the history of the sport and one of the best hands down. Looking at the resume of this man, it's hard to fathom what else could be left for him to achieve inside the octagon. Even though he got popped for using banned substances on 2 separate occasions and got fined by the UFC for doing cocaine, his feats inside the cage remain unparalleled. Most number of title defenses practically undefeated, minus the disqualification against Matt Hamill and no contest against DC, longest reigning 205-pound champ. Is there anything he is yet to achieve? If you look beyond his super stacked resume, you will find that he's yet to be a member of the Double Champs Club. With that being said, he's been out of action for more than 2 years to include his last feather in his cap. After relinquishing his title over a pay dispute with the UFC, he expressed his desire to seriously move up to the heavyweight division, crawling with killers like Stipe Miocic.
Postured up. Great shots.
He's out! He's out!
Stipe Miocic.
Ciryl Gane,
The thing
and
is, the problem for Gane is that
There's the tap!
there's the top.
Welcome to the UFC, Ciryl Gane!
top dog Francis Ngannou.
Down goes the Reeve.
During these couple of years, he teased his heavyweight debut several times, however it didn't materialize. But as time goes on, his return doesn't seem to be a thing of a distant future anymore.
Yeah, no, Jon Jones will fight next year, for sure.
First quarter, probably.
As per the latest update, Bones is set to make his heavyweight debut in March. No matter when he makes his highly touted return to the octagon, one thing is for sure, it will be against a big name.
But he's also smart. And
Yeah.
One of the things that Jon's
One of
doing
the smartest, yeah.
putting on so much weight. He's huge now.
Since he's one of the best to ever grace the octagon and one of the biggest PPV draws, it is only fair his return is against a high-profile fighter. While it has been estimated that he will be facing the Predator in his return, nothing has been confirmed yet. So, who might be facing Bones in his heavyweight debut? Ciryl Gane. The first name that pops up right now is the former interim heavyweight champ Ciryl Gane. His record has only 1 defeat to date, even that against the current champion, a unanimous decision loss. However, he's bounced back in a scintillating fashion with a KO victory over Tai Tuivasa in his very next outing. He's a fighter that has brought a breath of fresh air to the division. No one has ever seen a heavyweight who is as fluid as Bon Gammon. The way he just throws strikes can make people reminisce about the prime Conor McGregor. He is so light on his feet and moves like a bantamweight. For a 250-pound giant like him, it is in itself an achievement. That blended with his off-the-charts fight IQ has helped him emerge as one of the elite heavyweights of this era. His fight against the Black Beast Derek Lewis should give you an idea of how dangerous he is. During the fight that lasted a little over 14 minutes, the Frenchman outstruck Lewis by landing a whopping 112 shots against Lewis's mere 16. Performing in such a fashion against someone who is blessed with a touch of death should tell you something about Gane's dominance inside the octagon. With a resume and talent like this, he can very well be matched up against Bones to give him a taste of the current state of the heavyweight division. Stipe Miocic. Despite being out of action since his KO loss against Francis Ngannou, he is still considered the greatest heavyweight of all time. You might be wondering the reason, especially after his crushing defeat against the Predator. This man is the two-time heavyweight champion with 4 title defenses in total. Not only that, but he also holds the record of having the most consecutive title defenses in heavyweight history, 3. No other has been able to achieve what he has in the heavyweight division, not even the UFC Hall of Famer DC. While his resume includes victories over big names like DC, Fabricio, Werdum, Alistair Overeem,
Alistair's in all sorts of trouble here, Mike.
Postured up. Big shot.
He's out.
Stipe.
Francis Ngannou,
Right, not just in camp, but in competition.
and Junior Dos Santos.
Down goes Dos Santos.
He is a man that is known to weather the storm inside the octagon. So even though he is at an advanced age of 40, he still is very much capable of giving Jon Jones much trouble should they ever meet inside the cage. Francis Ngannou. The next possible name is the top dog of the division himself, Francis Ngannou.
Uppercut.
He's done. That's it. Wow.
Knockout. Vicious uppercut.
Wow.
If they ever meet inside the locked-up cage, that fight would be the perfect example of sheer strength versus extraordinary talent. As per the sources, it is suspected that Jones will be making his heavyweight debut for the belt itself, so it is very much possible that we might get to see the clash between these two titans of the game sooner than expected. Whoever Jones's next fight may be, one thing is for sure, it's going to be one hell of a banger. However, the biggest question is when he's going to return, since it looks like people seem to have forgotten the sheer dominance of Jones inside the octagon. Who knows? He might very well end up becoming one of the select few to ever win belts in 2 different divisions.